Hello there, welcome once again. I am very, very excited to have you. Thank you for always showing up, and I'm really trusting that God is, teaching you and establishing your heart in truth. Today, I want to speak on something that you would find in the book of Proverbs 14:14. It says, "The backslider in heart will be filled with his own ways." It says, "But a good man will be satisfied from above." The backslider in heart will be filled with his own ways. The backslider in heart will be filled with his own ways. I want to zero in rather on that expression, the backslider in heart. See, sometimes I feel like largely we can be distracted. There are distractions. The Bible will say there are many voices in the world, and none of them is without signification, right? So because of these many voices, sometimes we are pulled in 1,000 different directions. We are distracted. We are distracted by successes. We are distracted by challenges. We are distracted by problems. We are distracted by relationships. Just all manner of things would get us distracted, and because of that, we're not able to really track the motions in our heart. And that's the only reason why a person might be deceived in their heart, not knowing that even though they are saying something with their mouth, their heart is very far from what they are saying. It is not always true that a person is a deliberate hypocrite. Sometimes they just lack that self-awareness, so that they say that they believe something, they confess that they believe something, but in their heart that thing does not really hold water, and at the end of the day they might now become a ridicule to everything that they have ever said that they believe. That expression says, "The backslider in heart, the backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways." That actually backsliding begins from the heart. It's a heart thing. It's a heart thing. It's not an action-based thing first. It's a heart thing. So Jesus will say to that church, he said, "I have this against you." He says, "Because you have fallen from your first love." But look at that. In the first few statements Jesus made, he says, "I know your faith, I know your patience, I know your works." So even though they had patience, even though they had works, but they had left their first love. And that's the thing. Christianity largely is supposed to be dependent on momentum. And you see, where you are today is as a result of the momentum that you have garnered from, the previous days and the previous years. And if you are not deliberate with, following through with that momentum, you just might be in the motion today, but your heart is far removed from what you are doing. So what am I saying to you? That the same way you are where you are today because of some of the actions and the consecrations and some of the resolves that you made yesterday, the same way you will be in certain places tomorrow because of the things that you are doing today. And how are you supposed to track that? You're supposed to track it in your heart, because wall to wall, love is a matter of the heart. And there is the possibility for, Jesus said that because iniquity will abound, the love of many will wax cold. So we see that there is a relationship between the abounding of iniquity and the love of many waxing cold. So we must be very careful. We must look to our heart. We must be very sure that we are not losing touch with God. We are not offended. We are not offended at God. We are not accommodated certain thought patterns that is making us to just draw back and lose our steam and lose our zest and lose our zeal for following after the Lord. Many of the things that God will do in your life, He will do because of His zeal. The Bible says the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. So you see that if zeal is no longer in your heart, if the zeal of the Lord is not consuming you, then you may not be able to be that person in prophecy. You may not be able to be that person that God will be able to bank upon, to call His battle axe, to call His sharp threshing instrument, and all of that. So what am I saying to you, friends? You must track your heart. You must track the thought. So if there are certain thoughts that you didn't used to think before that you are now thinking, don't just brush them aside. Really contemplate, ponder on your ways, and you can go to God and say, "Lord, try my heart." You can say to God, "Lord, try my heart. Lord, try my veins. See if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way of everlasting." Because largely we can be distracted. Largely we can be pushed back. Largely we can be, we can be pushed back in our hearts rather, and not really know that that's what is happening, and then just realize that we have been greeted with fatality. So the backslider in his heart will be filled with his own ways. Do not backslide. We are not of them who fall back onto perdition. We are of them that believe to the saving of their soul. God bless you and see you next time.